So it's not only me.
Yeah. It's mostly with me, it's old ladies.
Oh, no, mine's like
I had an old lady.
35-year-old men.
I had an old lady straight hijack a freaking piece of equipment from me and did 100 reps.
Like on purpose, like staring at you?
Oh no, I stood on top of her, like my leg had to be maybe 2-3 inches away from her. It was a pneumatic tricep push down, and she just like hijacked it from me. So I just stood there, and I even said like Katie was with me, and I was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
That's actually kind of funny.
Old ladies do not care at the gym, and I was there. I was doing prep, and like you're doing prep, dude, and you're running hot in the beginning, and you're doing cardio at the end. There we have like the big ass fans in the gym, and I had it pointed at me while I'm on the treadmill.
Oh, you moved the fan.
Up.
Yeah.
And she gets on the treadmill like right in front of me, and then unplugs the fan. And then so I walk right back over and I plug it back in. She's like, "You don't care about me." And I'm like, "No, like I was here first. There's 100 other treadmills down that way. If you don't want the fan, go down there." Like I'm fucking hot.
Yeah.
But we're recording now.
Oh,
But the main conversation I guess we're going to talk about today is like gym etiquette. So Eric, so this is the main reason we had. So, okay, welcome to Secrets Revealed Bodybuilding Podcast. You got Ryan Palmberg, Sean Hypes, and new guest, Eric Bonaducci. So just a quick background. Eric's been my best friend for pretty much ever now, since Sean
forever.
Bus, dating back to 2015, you prepped us for our first show together up here in the Northeast.
Oh, was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
Was that when your jelly got stolen?
What's that?
Is that when your jelly got stolen?
I think so. Yeah.
Was that just after that show, or is that a different one?
No, that was so when we compete. We competed in August. Yeah, the jelly thief struck.
Jellygate. This is real.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
That's a pretty good story, man. All right,
we'll have to rewind back to that.
We'll get back to that at some point today. But so Eric's normally from Northeast with me up in Connecticut. He has since relocated down to Florida, the Tampa Bay area. And I don't know what's going on down there, man, but if you want to give us a quick story on all the fights you've been getting in lately down at the gym.
Literally like almost fist fights at the gym so a little background, I'm down in the, I guess, Apollo Beach area and going to Crunch Fitness. So I don't know if the gym has anything to do with it. I was going to LA and it didn't seem to be as a problem. But then again, I come from looking like a bodybuilder to now 2 years off from bodybuilding to just looking kind of normal.
So Sean,
that may play a role.
The Crunch Fitnesses down there are not like the Crunch Fitness that I manage down there.
No, they're almost like an anytime kind of vibe where they're just more like they have one of everything and everyone can go in and just do what they need and leave. It's not like a gym.
It's more of like a dance club fashion statement.
There you go. Yeah.
Shark or latest Lululemons, you're not going to be accepted there that well.
So it's a one life.
It's a one life, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Now like a lifter's hardcore,
No.
Gym at all.
No. So first run-in was when I was just getting back into the gym about maybe 9 months ago. And I had gone in, and this was, of course, COVID. So mind you, there is like the whole mask thing.
Hold on. I want to get to it. But let's kind of give everyone the background on you.
Okay. So
like 4 years ago, back when you were huge.
I wouldn't say huge, but yeah, I was a bodybuilder-esque. So basically, yeah, me and Ryan obviously were avid bodybuilding together. We were competing with each other in theory. Obviously, he was in Connecticut. I'm in Florida. We were doing our thing. I was getting ready for a show. He's getting ready for the show. So we're sending pictures. We're doing this. We're best friends, so we compete with each other. We send pictures. And I end up tearing my chest on a chest day workout, doing flat, just being stupid. I can admit it. I was just being an idiot. I go from doing 365 for just barely 2. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's do 405. And that was just a terrible decision. I'm 4 weeks out from the Tampa Pro. And I'm like, you know what? I can do 405 right now without getting 365. Throw it on there, go all the way down, and my chest tears off. It was like according to the doctor, a 30%, but according to my chest, looks more like a 70%. So that pretty much put a big damper on my bodybuilding career. On top of that, I got diagnosed with Crohn's.
You were like what, like 217 around that time, 211?
Yeah. So that was like I said, 4 weeks out from Tampa Pro, just about 4 to 5 weeks, and I was weighing in about 215ish, 216.
Yeah.
I was looking pretty good, I feel like. I thought I was ready.
Tuttle?
What was that?
You worked with Chris Tuttle at the time, right?
Yep. Yeah, I was using Chris Tuttle. He's a really good coach at the time, and he's, helped me along the way. So I tore my chest. I had to all right, guess I'm going to take a break now. And then on top of that, I started getting, stomach issues and stuff like that from diet, and realized that I had Crohn's. So that put a huge damper on everything. I had to stop bodybuilding for close to 2 years now before my whole stomach issue would clear up and be able to accept the food I can eat and still train the way I'd like. So
you were getting even food aside, even training on leg days, you were having way too much pain to even be able
yeah. Anything to do with any type of stomach compression or anything where a lot of weight was where you had to use your core, which is everything in the gym, my whole body would just hurt. It was just very painful because everything was so inflamed. It was hard to get the handle on it. But obviously now, come today, I've been dieting better and finding foods that don't upset my stomach and can keep the inflammation down. So it's been fun now. So that's when I get back into it now, and feeling better, getting the roots going, just ready to go. Got to come back to Ryan now. He's over there weighing freaking 240, and I'm weighing in at 160. So
no, you're 176 right now, right?
Yeah, I got back to 176, but when I had started the gym, when I had gone back from this huge break, I was only weighing almost 159 to 160 flat. Oh, wow. And looking like probably someone that's never worked out. I don't know. So that's why I think some of the gym issues were because I just look like a regular old Joe going to the gym.
Yep. Yeah. So, all right. So now that we got the backstory out of the way, let's roll into it. So now you're 160 pounds.
Yep.
This of 2020, and you're just getting back into the gym, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm going back into the gym, and of course, mentality in my mind is I'm still 212 pounds and I can do whatever I want.
Right.
Apparently that's not the case. So I go to the gym. I think I was doing legs at the time, or no, this was back day. So back day is obviously everyone's favorite. Everyone loves a good pull day. Yeah. And this was during COVID a little bit. So this was the midterm of it, where it was kind of everyone was getting into the whole wear a mask thing. It was right then and there. And the gyms had just opened up. So I had gone over to do some rear delts, right? So I wanted to use the cable press, the little V one, the double one.
Yep.
And this guy was on it, big black guy. I mean, he was actually really big. He's probably a good 240 pounds. And I had gone up to him to ask him. And as soon as I got close, he goes, "Get the fuck out of my face." And I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this guy. I'm already I didn't even get to ask anything. And he's I was all right, let me okay, my bad. Let me stay 6 feet away. I'll ask him again. He's like, "Are you still talking to me? Go over there." And he's telling me, I'm like, what is happening right now? What does this guy want? And I was just I still ask him, I'm how many, I just want to ask how many you have left. And he's like, a lot. Get the fuck out of me. Do you want, and it gets in my face. And now he wants to fight me, right? So now I'm what the hell is going on? This guy wants to just fight me I just wanted to ask him how many he had left.
No chance to really get a full sentence in yet.
I had nothing. I didn't even say it. He literally was in my face, aggressively wanting to legit fight me. So I was obviously going to stand my ground. I didn't want to act the little bitch that I would look like. So I get back in his face and I'm like, go ahead and hit me. I don't understand why you want to hit me over me asking you to use a machine. So we get in a little, quarrel, whatever. He wants to fight. I just walk away. I'm all right, whatever. I'll just go do something else, apparently. So as I'm going to do something else, I asked another guy, "Are you using the rack? So I can do deadlifts." He tells me, "I got a lot left. Go find somewhere else to work out." I'm like, what has happened? This is all in one day. So I was like, what the hell? So I'm mad, obviously, because I just got in some other fight. Now this guy wants to fight. So I grab a bar from behind him and just did it on the floor. So I kind of grabbed the bar, I throw it on the ground, and he sees that and he goes and tells the gym, the workers there. They come back and they go, "Hey, this guy tells me you're throwing weights around." And I'm like, "No, I just put the bar in the ground." He's like, and I see him over there and I was like, "Hey, why are you acting like a baby? If you have a problem, just talk to me." And that's when he wants to fight me because I called him a baby. So he gets in my face. So I'm like, man, I'm going hot today. This is 2 times. So that was a little bit of that. And it all comes from all the guy had to tell me was, "Hey, I got a couple sets left. Can you come back?" And then it would have been done. That was easy as that. But they all want to act aggressive and this and that. And that's not even the first or second time. Now, even fast forward even more times. And it just happens more and more than I can tell down here.
You just had like an actual altercation at the gym. Like,
Oh yeah. That was the worst one. There was a couple times in between where like people were a little bit standoffish. Like when you just ask them, they just tell you to go away. Like there was this little kid, like he was even smaller than me. He was doing squats or like some CrossFit stuff, which is fine. But I just asked him how many he had left. He told me like 100 or some stupid number. And I was like, okay. And he just like put his headphone back in. So I was like, okay, I don't know what these kids like, what they learned throughout the ways. But like when I went to the gym, there was a moral respect between everybody because we were all there to do the same thing, to where if you want to use a weight or jump in and this and that, we were all like, hey man, I'm only got 2, you want to hop in? But like now it seems like as soon as you talk to someone, they're like, oh, guards up, you can't talk to anyone.
It's crazy. So
yeah, so the next story is an actual fight. So we were doing chest day, and me and my dad were working just on 2 benches because he wanted to do flat. Obviously, with my chest hair, I can't really do flat. I wanted to do slight incline. So we grabbed both. We're doing our set. We're like 3 to 4 sets in. He's going a little heavier. I got, only 45 pounds. I can't do a lot. So it kind of hurts still. So he goes and grabs the 60-pound dumbbells, and I see him walking over by me. And this guy next to the bench next to me that he was using, this guy just jumps down and starts working out randomly, like grabs his weights and just starts going at it. My dad comes back. I'm watching this all in the corner of my eye, and I see my dad look at the guy and go, hey, man, what are you doing on the bench? And he's holding the heavy weight. He wants to, you grab your weight, you want to go down and do your set. And the guy can't hear him. Obviously, the guy's headphones on.
I never even like looked at you and was like, hey, is anyone using this?
He didn't say anything at all. All he had to do was look at me and say, someone here. Like, what? Even when you're working out, usually a guy will say, like, hey, someone here, and you'll be like, nah, or something. Or you'll just nod your head. No eye contact at all.
Rocky has a gym bag, right?
No, but he had his water bottle.
Okay.
No gym bag. He's just been using mine, and he had his water bottle at the corner of the foot. So you would see the water bottle if you had looked at the bench or anything.
Yeah.
So he's on there doing flies or whatever. My dad comes over and is looking like, hey, what the hell is this guy doing here? And he can't hear him. He's got his headphones on. So the guy on the bench can't hear him. Mm-hmm. So my dad kind of throws the weight down. Obviously, he's holding 60-pound dumbbells now. It's been too long. He just kind of tosses it down near the guy, and the guy gets all spooked and jumps up like, hey, man, you just threw your weight at me. And he's like, no, you're on my bench. What are you doing? He's like, well, I didn't see your stuff. And I go, why didn't you ask? You could have asked me. So now my dad getting all mad because, he's all getting excited, wants to do his weight. So there's some aggression. So he kind of like looks at the guy and grabs his face and like tells like, hey, look at me. I'm talking to you kind of thing. He's old timer. So if you don't look at him, he wants you to look at him when he's talking to you. So he takes his face and says, no, look at me. I'm talking to you. So now the guy kind of gets a little like, hey, don't touch my face. So he kind of pushes my dad, right? Yep. So I see that. So I throw the weight down. I'm like, hey, man, why are you pushing my dad? So I kind of grab him, push him down, and you're like, what are you doing? And now he wants to fight me.
Yeah.
So I get in his face, and then this is legit like an altercation. So these guys come running over from the bench, and they kind of pull me back, and they're like, whoa, man, what are you guys doing? And this is all happening in the gym, all over just someone grabbing someone's bench.
Jesus, man. This is the same gym as the previous story?
Exact same gym. I haven't had really any other issues besides this gym.
So like this goes back.
I know.
Yeah, this just goes back to like, all right, so you and I started working at, it was, Gold's Gym here in Enfield, Connecticut. And Sean, I'm pretty sure you've been around some hardcore gyms down in Virginia as well. It doesn't matter. Like, all right, first off, just normal etiquette anywhere you are. You want to make sure, you want to ask, you look around, use your fucking perceptions. Is there a water bottle at the bench? Is it the bench sweaty? Is there a gym bag there? Like, you want to make sure someone's not using that equipment. Then you ask the guy next to you, hey, is someone using this? Like you always do that. You always do that.
Yeah, normal thing you always ask. There could be no one even near it, and then just someone way over there, and I'll be like, did you see anyone over here? I don't want to take someone's machine, you know what I mean? You always just ask.
Yeah, always ask, man.
And the common sense thing that I always do is like, if I'm doing back, first thing I do is pull-ups. Me and Ryan have discussed that. So if I'm doing bent over row necks, I start watching all those racks.
Oh yeah, time it. Yep, make sure your next move.
Do 2-3 sets, and then all of a sudden, I know no one's using it. I'm good to go.
Yeah,
but it's a new age thing, man. The old, because my first gym I went to was a real old school gym. I mean, powerlifters, bodybuilders. There was drugs everywhere in the locker rooms. I'm 16 years old. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Where's that gym? We need to go there.
It closed down. It's now a daycare.
Dang.
But they had gym etiquette. They put their weights away. They ask people, are using this, whatever. That's how it is. Now it's a new age thing. It's just put my headphones on, have my tight medium shirt on, and this is my day.
So here's the thing, man. Old school hardcore gyms, right? I imagine a lot of these people that probably listen to this channel train in these kinds of gyms, or at least train with that mentality, right? So the younger generation, man. So when we started the Gold's Gym in Enfield. It's like it was a true hardcore bodybuilders gym, man. You go
It was
down,
awesome.
it was a basement gym. You go down there, you don't talk to anybody because
Yeah. And you don't get in the way. Don't get in the way.
You don't talk to anybody, and you damn well better make sure that no one's using the equipment that you want to use. Because if you don't, you're gonna get your ass kicked. But it's just
literally
people nowadays, these younger guys that come in, there's no courtesy. There's no courtesy. They just drop their bags wherever they want. They're throwing weights around. They're acting like jackasses in the gym. And
that's another point. Throwing weights around. They need to learn how to do weights. Yeah.
Yeah. They all have an attitude problem, man. There's no, listen, in any gym, there's a hierarchy.
And the guy, basically.
He's the Lord or whatever you want to call it.
As soon as the bigger guy comes in, he gets that step up.
Yeah. Really, man. That's the old school mentality with it. But
that brings me to a story that we went to the Route 5 gym. You remember that? I don't even think you were there with me, but we had that. Remember that big guy who looked like Zeus? He legit looked like Zeus. Yes. He was huge. I farted near him one time, and I almost got my ass beat. And this is a real story. I was with Chris, I think, at the time, and he was doing like leg curls or something. And that was when we were getting into the diet, so I had really bad gas. I'm sure we've all experienced some really bad gas. And I had let it rip. And I remember hearing him, like, he had this deep voice. He was like, "Who farted?" And I was like, "Oh shit, like, this guy's gonna kill me." Like, I was just a little kid. And he's like, "That fucking stinks. Who did that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm fucking." Me and Chris were like, "We're going upstairs. We're getting out of here." But yeah, you don't want to do that. Not next to the big guy.
No, you definitely don't. If you go far, you got to walk away. Don't do it in the general area that you're going to be training in. That way you don't get caught.
Nope.
That happened to me in the locker room one time. I was changing to go work out. I came there straight from work, and there was this old man, and we all know how old guys are in the locker rooms. They walk around butt naked and flip flops,
throwing their out everywhere.
Horrible. What's bad is they walk around butt naked, but they have the towel over their shoulder still.
I know. Why not wrap it over? They're like, "Oh man, it's hot." They're like brushing their face off with their dicks hanging out. Why not put the towel around that?
So I'm sitting on the bench. It was actually Crunch, but it was before it was Crunch. It was Bally's. So you remember how the locker rooms were like square, the benches were?
Yeah.
So far into that bench. And this guy walks up, old man, throws his leg up on the bench and just starts like putting talcum powder on his balls.
Dang.
And I'm just ignoring, like, I don't know why this guy couldn't wait 30 seconds while I'm tying my shoes to leave. Quick ass.
Was it Gold?
He was dominating you.
Say what?
Gold Johnson & Johnson.
Honestly, I didn't pay attention.
He was looking at his balls. He wasn't looking at the talcum powder.
Sometimes Ben Gay's got a certain smell to it, though.
Yeah, I can't remember it. I don't remember a smell at all. I was just like occupied, like hurrying, trying to get the hell out of there. And the guy just rips ass with his leg 5 feet from me in the air. And I stand up. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" The guy's like, "Huh?" Like he didn't understand what was going on.
Oh yeah, nice. That was his assertion of dominance. He was dominant. He owns that room now.
He won that day.
Yeah, he marked the territory for sure.
He wins.
It was the same guy. Do you remember when it was Crunch? You would find those iodine bottles in the bathroom. Do you remember that?
No.
It was some guy got in trouble. He had like prescribed iodine, and he would put it on his feet or something. It was the same guy, and he got in trouble because like he dropped a bottle one time and just left it, and there was glass shards everywhere.
Yeah. No.
It was the same guy.
It's weird. Yeah, man. The gyms are not the same as they used to be. I'm not mad about it. They're overpopulated. That's what I'm not mad about. I'm glad people are trying to work out nowadays, but they're overpopulated and there's no gym etiquette anymore. They just do whatever they want to do nowadays.
They should train that at the gym. Those free Crunch 30-minute sessions or whatever they're giving out. They should go around and just train you. Listen, if you're going to use this bench, you ask this guy or that guy, whoever's around you, is he on that bench?
Yeah.
Well, that's something they should do. Like I always said, if I own a gym, I'm not giving you a training session. I'm giving you a gym etiquette session.
There you go. Exactly.
You sweat on a piece of equipment, you're going to wipe it down, which I got a good story from Crunch about. I think I told you that, Ryan, that giant rash I had from Crunch.
No.
Yeah. Some guy was using the leg curl at Crunch. It was right after you left. I got rid of my membership there. Yeah. And some guy used it, and it was just sweat everywhere. He didn't wipe it down or nothing. So like I wipe it down with a dry towel, go over there, spray it down, wipe it down again. Started using it the next day, perfectly square rash on my chest.
Yep. That's gross.
That same leg curl, that's one like right at the top of the stairs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the laying one. That same leg curl, I was training a guy there one day, just like a new client. and I was putting him through a pretty brutal leg day, and this guy was biting. He was biting the edge, the top edge of the lying leg curl. There was
trying to visualize it.
they were permanent afterwards. They were teeth impressions. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? You don't bite the equipment." First of all, like out of respect for the equipment, second of all, out of like sanitary hygiene for yourself. Like, do you want to get freaking ringworm on your tongue? Like, what? That's nasty.
The fact that was a discussion is just beyond me. When you talking about this guy biting equipment, God,
Yeah, I've never seen that one. I've seen people
that's new.
There was actually a guy at Crunch. Speaking of headbutt, a guy at Crunch, he was doing a squat and he went to get under it, and he was like hyped up. He goes to doesn't get under all the way, bust his head, passed out.
Well, that's pretty embarrassing.
Were you working there when the guy lost a finger?
No.
What?
It was the same month, maybe like a week apart. Some guy had another gym etiquette thing. When you have 3 sets of dumbbells, 20s, 25s, and 30s next to you on a damn bench, just pick a fucking dumbbell set.
Yeah.
Well, he was one of those guys, and he goes to throw his dumbbells down, and his finger got caught in between one of the dumbbells and snapped his finger right off.
Oh, you told me. I think I remember that. Yeah.
I was working there.
You told me that story.
Caught on the edge of the rack.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. I remember there was a blood trail leading to the downstairs bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you and me actually were on the other side. We were getting ready to do legs or something, I think. Because I remember you were talking. Yeah. And the guy's finger was just sitting on the fucking floor.
Ugh. It was nasty. That gym was such a hole though, man. I remember we had like we didn't have a lat pull down machine. We had a single cable stack where you could pull up a bench up and then do like lat pull downs there, or you could do tricep extensions, whatever you wanted to do. But the carabiner on it, the little latch piece, was so loose and wobbly that some guy was doing like overhead tricep pull downs or something, and the whole the attachment came out of the carabiner when he had and freaking smashed on the top of his head.
Dang.
He had a big gash in his head, and then like I had to go down there and fall into the bathroom and like try to talk to him to make sure he wasn't going to sue us or anything.
You're like, smooth him over.
Yeah,
that gym had a lot of issues.
Yeah, they did.
That's one of my fears with that, is that if the carabiner breaks, I would be like really mad.
Yeah.
I remember still working there at the time.
Go ahead.
With the hack squat issue, when the 2 guys left 4 plates on each side of the hack squat. My wife went to go use it, and they just left it. So my wife goes to take off the 45s. I said, no, put it back on. I walked all the way across the gym, got to those guys. I said, you guys done with the hack squat? They're like, yeah. I said, go take your fucking weights off.
Oh God.
The one guy's all apologetic. He hustled over. The other guy's all huffy puffy about it, and they took their weights off. And I was like, you leave 145 on. That's fine.
One always. That's like a rule on the leg press and that one plate left on.
Come on. You remember the guy in the leg press, Ryan, with the big black dude that would have like the tight shorts on, and he would load up the leg press, and he wouldn't even unlatch it. He would just like do toe presses with it.
Yeah.
I know the guy was always getting in trouble because he'd go up to women with his short shorts and like lift his leg and start talking to him.
Nasty. Yeah, that's right. Like he was tall, right?
Yeah, real tall. Yeah.
Like almost like an ex-football player kind of guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would do toe presses on the leg press and then just leave all the 45s and just go home.
Yep. Dude, that gym, man, actually all the gyms in Virginia, even the One Life's included, I'll call them out on it. Those are the messiest gyms I've ever been to. Just weights, dumbbells thrown everywhere. Nobody re-racked their weights, nobody cleaned up. Like the dumbbell section at Crunch, you'd have like 17 and a halfs down where the hundreds would be. And you have hundreds where the fives would be. Like it was just wild.
I've been to those. Yeah, I like those.
Mostly they were just thrown on the ground. You couldn't even walk through the dumbbell. You could not walk between the dumbbell rack and the benches there. It was crazy.
See, I'll tell you a funny story. I was going to a gym called Riverside over here. It's a kind of a hospital rehab facility.
Yeah.
For some reason, they're the only gym around here that has 150-pound dumbbells. And the people in this gym, there's not many young guys. It's more middle-aged people that go there. Mm-hmm. Well, one day, actually, for about 2-3 weeks, there was just weights all over the dumbbell room. It was getting ridiculous. So it was like maybe me or one other guy could actually touch the 150s and move them. So I got pissed off all these weights everywhere. I took the 150s and put them where the 10s go. They stayed there for over a month. No one could move them.
They're like, those are staying there now. So with you guys going to the gym, another thing on etiquette, have you ever been mid-set, right? You're working out, doing anything with the mirror, and some guy walks in front of you and starts doing something right in front of your mirror space? That's probably another big one for me. I hate that. When you're like really trying to focus on getting that squeeze because you're doing, you're making sure you're really getting those points, and all of a sudden this big wall comes in front of you, you're like, what's happened here?
Yeah. If you're on that piece of equipment, you own the mirror space.
Right. That's okay. That's what I was getting at. So like in Crunch, right? In my gym, they have like staggered benches, right? So they get more in. They're kind of like a first row and a second row. Well, the problem with that is, so when you're on the first row, when a guy's doing a rest or something, he's either standing next to the bench, or when his buddy's working out, he won't necessarily stand him back and spot. He'll just kind of stand next and text or whatever. Now I'm on the back seated press doing shoulders or something. Now this guy's standing there in the mirror just texting and whatever. And I'm over here trying to like, what am I doing here? Am I breaking 90? Am I all right? Like, that's the worst.
That's the biggest thing right there, man. Texting in the gym.
Ooh, that is a good one. That's a good topic for sure. That's a lot.
Fucking stand it, dude.
My dad probably would smash a phone if he sees a kid on his phone. My dad would probably smash a kid's phone as soon as he's on a set, and he's like, "What are you doing? Are you using this thing?" He's like, "Oh no, I got a couple more," and he's sitting there texting, goes, throws it in the ground. And no, you don't have any left. Get out of here.
5 minutes now. So now you're waiting on a machine. Your wait time's now been extended by like 15 minutes because they're texting for 5 minutes in between each go.
Absolutely.
There's a specific guy, and I guarantee you, anybody that goes to my gym in Enfield, they know exactly what I'm talking about. This guy will fucking, I don't know if he's like stocks, I don't know if he's hacking to the NSA, I don't know what he's doing, but he's on the phone the entire time at the gym, and it drives me fucking nuts, dude. Everybody, dude. There's another girl in our gym that sits there. She takes up. So here's the new thing too, right? Powerlifting. Everyone all of a sudden is a powerlifter, which whatever, it's fine. It annoys me, right? Because now they're taking up squat racks to do the bench and to do whatever else they're going to do.
Oh yeah, because they want to do it off the. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they got to have the safety bars there. This chick's benching, I guess 65 pounds, right? It's on each side, and she needs the safety bars. Okay. Anyways, dude, she's texting for like 6. My buddy Dan texted me today. 22 minutes in between sets.
No way.
Insane. You do not, like, I think it's just a general rule of thumb. No phones allowed in the gym. Like your gym does not, or your bag, can't speak. Your phone does not come out of your gym bag unless you're changing a song. Like that's the.
I was gonna say, unless you're pressing skip. Yeah. If I see thumbs going, I'm gonna throw it in the trash.
Yep. Yeah. Is it bad down there now too? I imagine.
Oh, that's probably the number one thing that's more annoying than anything. Because that's when I go. People will be like, "How many do you have left?" Because I'm kind of pushing on the, "Hey man, I see you on your phone for like the last 10 minutes. How many do you have left?" And they're like, "What?" And that's the worst too. If they like so loud you can't you didn't know I just asked you? No, I want to know if you want to go out and grab dinner later. No, I didn't ask you that. I'm asking you how many you got left. No, what the f- do you think I'm talking to you?
Yep. Yeah, the phone, man, it's the worst. It's the worst thing for the gyms now. Everyone's filming every single set, taking pictures of everything. Kids standing there. You got teenagers standing in the mirror, taking pictures with their shirt off. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I can't.
This guy's getting naked over here. What's he doing?
that actually, we were talking about him last week. One time Johnny asked me to video record him doing barbell curls. And I just kind of looked at him and I just like shook my head and just kept walking. I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to record you.
Pass.
Like, I get if you're worried about your technique and you want to see it or some shit, but
yeah, that's
because you can see a new vein or some shit. Just put your phone down. Just do your lifts.
Yep.
I'm guessing he was doing barbell curls in the squat rack though.
I'll admit I've filmed, but it's my top sets. And mainly I'm looking at it because I want to see how my form was for that. You can feel it to an extent, but I don't like to use the mirrors too much. Yeah, but the phones are coming out for every single set now. They're just set up on the floor, or they have their, even better, they have their little mini tripods they bring along with them too.
I saw a kid FaceTiming one of his buddy the whole gym workout. He had the phone set up. I thought he was recording, but I walked by and I saw the little FaceTime thing. I'm like, what kind of conversation can you be having right now?
Or something.
I have no idea.
No, man. Yeah, it's wild.
I'm lucky though. The gym I go to now, man, it's people are really into their workouts. Phones are just strictly, like you said, come out to change a song, go.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm lucky now. Like Riverside used to be real bad. I used to watch one of my clients. I used to get on her about him, like, yo, get off your phone. After 1 or 2 times I'm telling you, I'm not going to say anything anymore. I watched her one time. I did an entire arm workout. She was on one piece of equipment the whole time because she was just texting.
So With you, Ryan, now that you're still bodybuilding, I'm not. So with you, like at the gym, does it change? So you know how when we used to go, I remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I went, I had like a family at the gym. That was my time I went to the gym. I knew all the people. We kind of all worked out and helped each other. But now that I'm not doing that, I still don't even notice that anymore. I feel like there's so many people that you can't even have that like group of people that you were working out with.
No, it's just when especially like when you were outgoing, there's if you're like a serious bodybuilder in a gym or a serious powerlifter in a gym, you have like and I don't want to call it a clique, but it's like it's like a family environment that you're talking about.
Well, you go there every day at the same time, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's all the same guys. You all kind of know each other. It's all like it's like the opening scene to or not the opening scene, but it's like the scene in Pumping Iron where he's like, "Oh, Big Tony," and jumps on his
classic scene. Yep.
That's the family, but there's no more families there anymore. There's no. It's all like individual little groups, like 2s and 3s, and that's it. Yeah, that family feeling it's completely gone. And that's because there's not that many bodybuilders anymore. There's not that many hardcore like enthusiasts anymore. It's just
that's true.
It's just like random training.
Do you think it has anything to do with social media being more prominent now?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was going to say.
People are more focused on what they can post on social media.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. They want to be in shape year round. So they need to take pictures.
They'd rather care about the post on Instagram than what's going on in the gym.
Yeah. Like anybody actually fucking gives a care.
That and what they look like and what they're wearing. Guys care too much about matching their shoes. I mean, I've seen guys walk in the gym with like blazing red shoes and it's got to match their tank top and all this shit, dude. I wear fucking $5 Walmart sweats that have holes in them.
Yeah.
Tank tops that don't even, like half the straps torn off. I don't care. I'm
the scrubbiest looking guy in my gym. I could care less. I'm there.
Oh, Ryan knows what I wear. I wear the same shorts for 2 weeks. So
am I the only one that gets bothered by men wearing spandex in the gym?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's not the shorts so bad, but they wear the full thing. Do you have them wearing the whole pant stuff? The thing? Yeah. So I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a buddy that wears spandex, but he wears shorts over them.
Yeah. That's fine.
Like, past the knee shorts. That's fine, but no, just the spandex alone is kind of weird.
Unless you with the spandex shorts.
I haven't seen that.
I've actually done it before, and this was at Crunch Ryan. There was I don't remember the guy's name, but it was a real skinny guy. He was an Italian guy. That's all I remember. Yeah. And he would they looked like underwear. So one day I started mocking him, and I was doing legs, so I took all my sweatpants off. You remember? I think didn't you take
a picture of it? Yeah.
I still got those pictures. Yep, squatting.
No, I mean, men do not need to be wearing the spandex unless you got like 32-inch legs. Just wear the pants, man. Wear the pants or wear their shorts.
Yeah. If Phil Heath walks in, he can wear spandex. That's fine. He's got legs bigger than my waistline. So, I mean, that's normal.
They're waistline.
What's that?
They're not as big as his waistline, though.
That's true.
Not anymore. All right. So back to that. Like, all right. This is something I keep talking to Summer about. And it drives me nuts, man. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with like training and stuff too. But everybody's got so much equipment in their gym bag. They have all the latest trendy freaking Gymshark gear, whatever kind of the name brand gym attire is now. They have all the latest attire. They have the slingshot in their gym bag. They have their wrist wraps. They have their freaking knee pads and their glove. They have anything you can think of, but they can't fucking train to save their life. They just train like pussies now. It's insane.
They'll have $300 pair of headphones. Dude, I
wonder if like
I don't care.
I wonder if they're losing the mind connection. I wonder if they're not like getting that. Because for me, when I work out, or when I'm sure we all work out, do you ever get like the whole point is to get the mind and muscle connection, and that does everything. I mean, that I could do 10-pound dumbbells on curls, and if I have the right mind connection in my bicep, I can get the hardest pump I've ever felt.
Yeah, we say that all the time, man. Sean says it best. Go ahead.
Your muscles understand tension, not weight.
Exactly. Time under tension. That's the most important thing.
Yep. No, man. Yeah, these girls come in there, and now I don't know where the whole sports bra thing came out of too. That's like 2 years ago. Every girl started wearing sports bras only now.
Yeah.
I'm not here to judge people. I'm just going to say it plainly. Some of these girls have a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence. It's amazing what a sports bra and some high-waisted pants will let you get away with these days.
I mean, I can understand wearing the leggings. I guess they would be comfortable for females. But if you're wearing a sports bra, Why? You're asking for attention. You have to be.
Attention, dude. Don't act like you're not. Don't get mad if someone's going to stare at you. You're asking for attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, that and the makeup, dude. These girls come in there with, you can tell they spend more time on their makeup than they spend time in the gym.
One thing I've never understood is why women will wear their hats like super low, like down here.
Yeah.
Like
I know a couple girls that do that. They're real low, like they're like curled around their eyes.
Yeah, like you can't even see their eyes. Like I can't even see their nose. It's like you see the bottom of their lip. That's it. It's like, what's going on here? Am I missing something? But that's a whole nother thing, man. It's just gym fashion. It's just something else nowadays. People spending $300-$400 on shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a pair. I think I have them somewhere around here. I bought a pair of deadlift shoes. Worst fucking shoes I ever bought in my life. I wore them 2 or 3 times working out, and that was it.
Dude, they're horrible. They're horrible.
Yeah. I bought a pair of those.
The whole idea. I'm guessing. Are they? Oh, I'm thinking
the lift.
The elevated heel. They're not those, right?
No, it was the one that had like the wider. I think they were like the nobles or something, where they were wider at the toes.
Okay. What's that giving you? What's it giving you?
Pain.
More room for your feet to move around while you're trying to pick that weight up.
I didn't get it. I wear New Balance. That's it. Give me fucking the Grill Master 2000s. I'm good to go.
I got a pair of the what I got. I got the Rider Wear that I wear on leg days. That's all I have though. I have that, and I have a pair of regular Nikes, which are like my regular gym shoes that I replace typically like once a year at the start of prep. I'll get new shoes because when the cardio starts getting crazy, you need to have. That's one thing you need. You need good shoes if you're going to be doing a lot of cardio, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. But you know what I got this year? I got Asics.
Ooh,
perfect.
Yeah, they look like they're freaking the Nike Dad shoes. There's nothing cool about them, but my feet felt good.
Dude, what was the price tag? What, $30-$40?
I was gonna say $40 shoes is to me.
$40. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's cool about them. That too is like half these people we're making fun of. They probably live with their parents or 3 or 4 roommates that they can afford this clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that, man. I can't afford that shit. I'm not going to spend $40 on a tank top just to look good in the gym. You know, if it's different, if it's like to support a friend or something or another gym, that's fine. But some other shit, no, fuck it.
No.
It's raising the price on everything. That's the problem. So these new brands come out and they're like building the name, and then the prices of everything else is just following. So now all of a sudden a shirt is $40, which who spends $40 on a shirt?
Dude, you can't go
a t-shirt. I'm talking a t-shirt. Okay. If it's a $40, you can't justify $40 for any shirt. Never mind. I'm not justifying it. It's too much.
You can't even go to Marshall's and get a shirt for like less than $20 now. It's crazy.
No.
Dude, Amazon tank tops, you can get the 4-pack for like $20.
There you go.
Nice.
Yep. All my gym shirts for the last 2 years.
I was gonna say.
They're is it Fruit of the Loom? The Fruit of the Loom. They're $4.45. I don't know what it is.
All I can picture is Shaq going like this because he's in that commercial with the Fruit of the Loom. He's like doing the lip thing. He's like, ooh, that was like I was thinking of.
I got my Shaq shirt, my icy patch as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
I just been wearing the Freeze t-shirts.
The man pouch.
The fanny pack?
Yep, I want to bring that back.
What's the whole? No, the fanny pack is back.
Yeah, it's already back.
I haven't seen it here.
What's going on?
I hadn't reached Virginia yet.
No.
No.
Dude,
Must be the wind.
I'm seeing the fanny pack all over the place.
No, see, the one thing I specifically remember about it was my first coach. She passed now, but my first coach, he always had a fanny pack. And, you know, I'd be around her. We'd be backstage or whatever, talking to competitors. She'd unzip it, pull out 2 or 3 needles, Lasix, whatever. Here you go. Just pulling out stuff. I'm like, damn, she's got everything in there. When she pulled out, I'm not even joking. She pulled out a boiled egg.
A boiled egg?
Like she boiled it. She boiled it while it was in there.
Yeah, very good chance. But it was in a baggie, and she pulls it out and just starts eating a boiled egg. I was like, the fuck she had her fanny pack?
6 grams of protein short.
This might just like a snack for her or something. I don't know.
Who knows? That's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I put in my fanny pack. My car keys. I don't know. My main card, maybe. I'm not sure.
You lose that.
It's already been gone.
Yeah, the fanny pack's it's not cool to me. I don't get it.
I would just like to have an extra pocket because like I said, I wear the cheap Walmart sweatpants.
Yeah.
I drop something in the pocket, it goes down to the bottom of my foot. They have holes in them, so I need something that works.
All my pants from Walmart. All my gym pants from Walmart. They're the only pants I really wear nowadays, unless I go going out and I put on a pair of jeans. The pockets are good.
Yeah, all mine have holes in them. I call them my drug smuggling pockets. Like I can just drop some weed in there and they drop down. You can't find them anymore.
How do you get holes in them? What are you doing to them?
Stuff like
You got rocks in there?
that. Throwing keys in them.
Trying to make weight. He's like, no, I got you. Hold up. And you got like 2-pound rocks in each pocket. What are you doing?
Start dropping them like on Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. So what's going on? Anything crazy at the gym happened this week or?
Nothing this week. I've got a new gym since the whole COVID situation. I started helping this guy with his gym.
Yep.
And well, he actually has a couple gyms here. They're going to be opening up a third one. So I just basically go to his gym. It's a 24-hour gym. One's more of a hardcore gym, and one's more of like a nice foo-foo gym, but there's still good things about each one. But so I stopped going to like the big name gyms now because that's where all the bad stuff happens, where you run into these issues. Issue I had probably not before I left Riverside, not long before the pandemic hit. I was doing tricep push downs. I turn, I'm standing right next to the bar. I pull out my phone. I hit next on a song, like we said, skip.
Yeah.
Put it in my pocket. I turn around and there's this guy there, older guy. I kind of felt bad, but I still needed to establish something on this guy. He has a son he always brings with him with like muscular dystrophy. Kid's really messed up.
Yeah.
And he saw me using the bar. He takes it off and puts the rope down. So I was just nice to him and say, hey man, I'm still using that. He just snaps. You're not fucking using it. You were standing over there. I'm literally one step away from the pull down.
Yeah.
Push down. And I just looked at him and I kind of like looked around and everyone's looking at me at the gym and I'm like, what do I do? Like this guy's kid is right next to him, has cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, all this stuff. So I'm like I wanted to tee off on the guy. Yeah. So he let go of the bar. So me being a jackass, I said, oh, well, guess you're not fucking using this now. So I take the rope down, throw it across the gym, grab my straight bar and just push him out the way and start going it again. But that's that gym etiquette thing that he saw me using it.
Yeah.
I was standing right next to it.
Just be clear, did you push the guy in the wheelchair or the
no,
father?
his dad. No. That's why
we had to clear it up. We didn't know.
Because his son was right next to him. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with the son right here.
Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, a lot of times, some people try to use that as to their advantage.
Yeah, but the guy's known as an asshole in that gym.
Yeah.
So
let's outline some gym etiquette rules here, right? First thing is you always ask if someone's going to use, or you always ask if someone's using a piece of equipment that you want to use. You re-rack your weights. This one doesn't apply to you, Eric, because I know you do it all the time anyways, but don't throw your dumbbells.
Dude, that's the worst. Seriously, like I see people, there's one guy in particular that I know of personally, pretty strong deadlifter. It's about all he's good at. He'll deadlift 600 pounds. He'll get up to his waist and he doesn't let go. He throws it down. If I owned a gym and he's in there doing that, you're gone. Get the fuck out of my gym. You're not going to do that.
The barbells, these are like, Olympic lifters or CrossFitters, they're doing the clean snatch, whatever it is, and they drop. Yeah. Like, you don't need to drop it. These barbells, I don't care, even if they're made for it, it's not good for it, and it's annoying as hell to everybody else around you.
Yeah, not needless to say, you're in a gym setting, that barbell starts bouncing somewhere else and hits somebody.
Yeah. You
don't know if somebody's walking by you as you drop it.
Yep. So yeah, don't drop your weights. Here's another one that people don't. That's not too common, but if you're not strong enough to use the one, the hundreds and above, don't pick them up because the people drop those and it bends the handles because they're too heavy. It bends the handles or it breaks the end off. That's another. And then the guys that can use those weights, like our gym, they go up to 140s. The 110s, the 120s, the 130s, the 140s, they're all like a big U. You can't even fucking use them.
I know weights.
You got a buffalo bar dumbbell.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so don't drop your weights. Stay off your cell phone. What else? Help me out.
Keep your gym bag right next to you or put it in the fucking locker room.
Yeah, don't just leave your gym bag in the middle of the floor, man.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. That group of guys at Crunch that were power lifters / CrossFit. I don't even know what they were. They would leave it in the squat rack and then go off and do other stuff.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
There's a good one. If you're going to superset, you keep it to like 2 machines and they better be close together. And don't be mad if you're gone for 5 minutes and someone else jumps in there, you can't get mad at them.
No, you can't. No.
That's a good one too. If you're supersetting and you're doing the 3 or 2 machines or whatever, which is fine, I've done it. But if someone wants to work in and grab, if you're doing triceps and you're doing some other push down, he should very well be able to just go in and jump in a set because it's not moving too much stuff. He should be fine. Don't tell me, oh, I'm using all these. No, you're not using all of them. When you're over there, you're not using this one.
That, and if you're the one doing the supersets, look at the gym. Is it peak hours? Is it slam packed?
That's
Do you
true.
really take both crossover cables to do 2 or 3 a giant set of triceps or something? You use common sense at certain times too.
Here's one too. And I don't know if everyone's going to agree with this one. Peak hours, don't run on the treadmills. It's so obnoxiously loud. I can't even hear the podcast listen to. I'm doing cardio. It's so annoying, dude. It drives me nuts. Especially if you're on prep and you're like the last few weeks and someone pops on the tread. Listen, okay, I can't say don't run on treadmills. If you're going to run a treadmill, make sure there's some space at least. Don't hop on the one right next to someone if there's nothing else available or if there's other ones available. You know what I mean? Because it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious.
We know what pisses Ryan off now.
Yeah.
Speaking of treadmills, man, what's up with the whole thing of people don't want to turn the treadmill on and they want to try and use the resistance pushing the treadmill?
Oh, I had somebody mess with the They call it dead milling.
Yeah, you're gonna break it.
What are you doing? Why?
Those treadmills are what, $4,000 or $5,000?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Real expensive. Yeah. No, you got to be doing some kind of damage to the motor inside of there.
Oh yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah.
I meant to do that. I mean, same thing too, man. Is I don't give a shit. And this particularly goes to females. If you're on that Stairmaster and you don't have it at least where you're at least breaking a sweat, get the hell off of it. Let someone else use it.
They did it on just one, and they're just casually walking, and it's just like the worst.
They're going so slow that their leg is just sitting there waiting for the step to come up. Just get the hell off.
Get off. Let other people use it, man. Let other people use it. What else? I know we're missing a lot.
Wipe down your equipment.
Yes, wipe your equipment down, especially nowadays. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on, but nobody wants to get on equipment.
We're kind of all guilty of that, just saying fuck it and just going to the next machine. Trust me, the day you wake up with a big ass rash, yeah, you'll be wiping that equipment.
Nasty. It's nasty. Yeah.
Don't stand in the mirror.
Yes.
Look all around you and be aware of your surroundings. There's people behind you and they're using the mirror. So be aware where you're standing if you're going to stay on your phone, which you're not supposed to use your phone anyway.
Yeah. That's the big thing too, is look around the gym. Like I said earlier, if you know you're going to be using a machine next, watch who's using it. See if anyone's on it. So you're not taking somebody's machine.
Yep. So you guys know I got my own home gym now. This is where I train out of most of the time. One of the biggest reasons I did it is I get so much anxiety when I'm like, all right, I map my whole workout out before I get to the gym most of the times, right? Sometimes I'll change things here and there, but for the general part, I have the entire workout mapped out in my head. So when I'm on the last few sets, I start looking at the next piece and I start getting so much anxiety because I know for a fact that before that last set's done, someone's gonna be dropping the gym bag over there. It always happens. It always happens to me.
So you get in the race with the guy across the gym because you're both walking to it and you you start speed walking.
Yep. Drives me crazy. Don't stand in front of the mirror like doing dumbbell curls or something. Back away so people can walk through because that drives me nuts as well.
Or during peak hours, don't work off the rack.
Yes.
People trying to get weights and you're standing in front of it doing friggin' stretches with the 5 pounds, like you're literally in the middle of the walkway.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, don't stand in front of the dumbbell rack. Give some space. The old famous one, don't squat or don't go in the squat rack. Unless you're doing a plate or more. I'll give you that. You can do that.
You do 135, you can curl.
Yeah, but that's like a peak thing too. Don't do it on a day where like there's a bunch of guys wanting to do like either deadlifts or something of that nature. Don't go and just grab a rack and start curling when we're all waiting to either do legs or something like that.
Yeah.
That, like I brought up the situation when a guy lost his finger too, is what's the point of having 3 sets of dumbbells next to your bench? 20s, 30s, and 40s. Just when you finish with it, set the fucking dumbbells down, get the next ones.
Those
the ones you have.
The lighter weights, man. The 10s through I'll say 35s.
I was in 35.
Yeah, those are people want those. Those are high realty there. So don't be hogging all the dumbbells because I can't stand it when I go there and I'm trying to do shoulders or warm with biceps and there's no 20s, there's no 30s, there's no 25s, and you look over and someone's got all 3 of them at their bench with them. You don't need it. You don't need it.
That happened at Gold's a lot. You're talking about Club Fit. That always happens. So like I think it's because there's only that one rack that has one and then one other has another.
Mm-hmm.
There's like never enough 10s and 20. Like they're all gone always.
Yeah.
That is the worst.
And if you take a dumbbell and you go across the gym to do your goblet squats in a mirror away from everybody, bring the dumbbell back. Dude, that gets so annoying.
Oh, that's a good one. Because I know people leave a dumbbell like way across the whole gym. He's over here by the squat rack. There's a 180-pound. Like, what's this 80-pound dumbbell doing way over here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Skidico one, they take them on to the aerobics room for some reason for the class, or for classes, and they leave them in there.
Don't they have their own in there?
I don't know, man. Who knows? Who knows what they do?
They probably don't like them. They like to feel the other ones or something.
Better knurled. Feels better on the hand.
Yeah, it's not the Buffalo dumbbells.
Who knows? Oh, Sean, I talked to you a little bit about it already. Just kind of want to touch on it maybe some girls are going to watch this that might have some questions about it. Girl messaged me on Instagram, and so she asked me, "Hey, do you work with female competitors as well?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I work with anybody that wants to work and work hard." And she said, "Are you familiar with blood work? Da 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 da. I have a low testosterone, and I went to some specialty clinic, and the doctor is recommending me to take injectable testosterone." And this is a young girl. Like, she can't be more than like 30 years old, probably like 25, 26 maybe. And it's shocking. And this is kind of like the general consensus for like anybody that goes to the doctor with any kind of issue at all. The first thing they do is they jump to medication, like heavily, like pharmaceutical type medication. But injectable testosterone. So when you talk TRT, even for men, it's really hard to get the doctor to agree to like an injectable testosterone. Usually, they always throw out the androgel or the patch or whatever else kind of options they have. But usually to go straight to the injection is really hard. You got to pretty much beg your doctor for that. In this case, it's even a little more strange because it's a female and she's young.
Yeah, you were telling me some of the stuff about that. It makes no sense.
Right.
Why in a routine blood panel, no doctors run hormone levels.
Right.
Cost money. So you're going to get other things. So they were instigating, they were trying to find something from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
As a female's hormone levels, their testosterone, which they don't have real testosterone, can be as low as I think off the top of my head, it's like 7 or 9.
Okay. For average.
Yeah, on average, yeah. And it will be higher and stuff like that. Men's a huge range. I think they just changed the low to 200, 2-3 years ago? And it used to be like 349. As a female, you don't need testosterone. TRT is the dumbest thing as a female. You're going to take, like, as a man, if you do 200 milligrams every 7 to 10 days, your blood work's going to come around 1,400 nanograms. As a female, you would take I guess you would need to get some type of specialty made testosterone where you would get 50 milligrams, per shot. And I don't even know what that would bring your nanograms up to.
So it shocked me. I said, listen, I just want to preface this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an endocrinologist. I'm not, this is just take it as bro science or entertainment purposes only. But I said, listen, there's a few other things that you could look at prior to just jumping to testosterone, because this girl, she didn't want to take it. She's like, I want some other alternatives to this because that just sounds pretty crazy and radical to me. So I said, listen, some things you want to look at. So women's testosterone comes from their ovaries and it comes from their adrenal glands, right? Ovaries, I don't think you can do too much with, but the adrenal glands, obviously it's your adrenaline, which can be affected by higher cortisol levels. I said, listen, get your cortisol levels checked possibly. There's some other, natural supplements you can take to help that cortisol. There's KSN66. There's a few other ones. I think I mentioned Morphogen Nutrition has an adaptogen, which is a really good stress management tool as well. I said, try with those things. Because I asked her, I said, are you high stress? Are you getting a lot of sleep? And she said, I'm really high stress, sleep's pretty bad. So that's why I mentioned those two tools. And I said, if things are still aren't really improving, I said you could try a product like Species Nutrition Testalize. That it's not a testosterone booster, it's a testosterone optimizer. So like the main 3 components that like affect testosterone in the body is obviously your testosterone levels, your estrogen, and then DHT. Right? Testosterone can aromatize to estrogen and DHT. And if those 3 things are off, it'll cause some issues with the testosterone. So Testosterone kind of balances those three hormones out. That's your first step. And the next thing I said is DHEA is getting a little more popularity in the medical field, and that's another natural supplement that is going to help increase. It's going to help increase like adrenal gland output and help increase your testosterone levels too. They're using that a lot for like fertility clinics as well for the women and to increase the libido as well.
DHEA actually a few years ago was probably the number one thing in these natural test boosters. You're buying $60, $70 worth of natural test boosters, and it's literally a pill from Walmart for $10.
Yeah.
DHEA does work well for females. It doesn't increase necessarily your testosterone. It just optimizes everything.
Okay.
So that's another route I would look at. But the biggest thing when you're talking to someone that's young, that has hormone levels, it's not medical. 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's something dealing within your life: stress, sleep, your diet. You need to look at these things before you ever do anything else, because once you cross that line, side effects do happen. Sometimes things do happen, especially as a female. I'm sorry, no female, unless you're a female bodybuilder, female physique, whatever it is, you stay away from test. There's other options.
Yeah. It's for especially for women, it's a dicey area to go into. So I would try to talk to someone more educated before just jumping into testosterone. I would question that doctor. I probably wouldn't go back to that doctor because that just sounds pretty radical to me. First thing off the bat, just jump straight to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this was actually something I was talking to a client of mine actually last night about, was blood works. Whenever you go to your doctors, like we know the way of getting our blood work done without a doctor's script. Certain websites there that you can do it. But you go to your doctor, don't just let them call you and say, yeah, everything looks good. No, ask them, say, you want a copy of your blood work.
Yeah.
You want to look
at your blood work, definitely.
And that's something me as a coach, when I see my clients and they get their blood work, like, yeah, everything's good. I'm like, okay, send me a copy. I want to analyze it. I want to look at things, because your doctor's not going to look at it. Your doctor might look at it and say, yeah, your liver enzymes are a little elevated, but you do heavy weight training. That doesn't mean nothing. You still need to get them under control.
Yep.
Your hematocrit level, if you're on gear, off gear, everyone responds differently. Whether, like, good examples, like my levels are always pretty good with my liver, kidney, hematocrit. When I get off cycle, that's when they spike up. Most people, it's when they're on cycle. So that's something that you need to know about the person, but always check those blood works. Look at those numbers. You need to follow these trends, and it needs to be addressed.
Yeah. Another one that a lot of people should be looking at is their A1C levels, which is basically your blood. It's an average of your blood glucose levels over like a 3-month period. I forget the numbers for it, but you want that to be in the normal range, obviously. And an easy way to keep an eye on it for yourself is you can go to Walmart and you can buy a blood glucose meter for like $20 nowadays. Get some test strips, prick your finger 2-3 times a week, take an average, see where you're at. And that's for like morning fasted blood sugars. For fasted blood sugars, you want to be below 100 and ideally below 90. So if you're, prick your finger in the morning, check it. If you're above 100, you might want to start looking at your diet, maybe start, reducing some carbs, or seeing what is your last meal really heavy, those kinds of things. And then you can keep checking throughout the day as well. That's a good way to not compound your meals. So if you have high blood sugar throughout the day, you want to probably end up, spacing your meals out a little further as well.
That, and look at the telltale signs, like we were talking about insulin, basically. Insulin resistance is a big thing within bodybuilding. There's telltale signs. If you're constantly reducing calories but still putting on weight, lethargic, you're very thirsty, everything's bouncy. It's the best investment you'll ever make for $10 is go getting one of those monitors.
Yeah. I got a monitor, and I got a blood pressure cuff at the house too.
Yeah, that's something I need to invest in.
Yeah, I think I paid got an Omron one. It's electric, obviously. I think I paid like maybe 50 or 30 or $70. I can't remember. I got a couple of years ago, but it's good.
I always need to get one, and just when the time comes, I just forget.
Yeah. Just gee whiz, while I mentioned it, the average blood range is supposed to be, or blood pressure is supposed to be 120/80. So you want to be within those ranges. If you start going above that, when you hit 130, that's hypertension stage 1. I think 140 and up is stage 2. So when talking blood pressure too, it's like I said, 120/80 is the average. That 120 number, the top number, is your systolic, and the number below is your diastolic. The systolic number is representative of your blood pressure while your heart is beating, and the bottom number is in between the beats. So that bottom number is a little more important, but they're obviously both important. So check your blood pressure, check your blood glucose. Easy things.
And those are things that are very easy as competitors that they can get out of whack real fast with the amount of food we do. We all in off season, we see that as a time period of a break from cardio. Well, all of a sudden now our calories are doubled. We're more lethargic. We're being lazier. Your blood pressure is going up. You need to monitor it.
Yep. So let's get into a couple questions. I got a couple questions here. Let's see. Eric, did you guys post up for questions? Did you guys ask around? Eric, you did, right?
I completely forgot.
I didn't know.
All right, I got a couple here. First one, not a question. Really enjoying these. Thank you. Good.
Awesome.
We are trying our hardest. Next one, Sean. I think this is your client, maybe the Tiny Titan.
Oh yeah, Josh, real good guy.
Good. He's got a good question for us. I'll let you start off with then. What is a relative body fat percentage to stay at during off season?
Assuming male, because of him, it a lot of it's your genetic characteristics, but for the most part, it's somewhere in the range of 15 to 18%.
So what do you look like, right? Because not everyone's got a caliper, and I don't trust those. I don't trust those little handheld ones. Yeah.
There's no way in hell. Like I had one that told me I was 4% body fat, and I'm over here sitting there just poking myself in the stomach like Pillsbury Doughboy. Like, no, it's full of shit. Those things get messed up by water. Ideally, it's 15, 18%, but how can you tell? There's no way to really tell. The easiest way to do is like we talked about, going by your blood pressure. We'll tell you if you're in good shape or not. Just look at your stomach.
Hold on. You broke up there for a second. What did you say?
It's go by your health markers too for your body fat. Look at your blood pressure. Watch how you sleep, how you act. Are you breathing heavy? Your body fat's a little too high. Go how you look. Typically I should at least see some type of outlines around your abdomen. I don't need to see your abs, but I want to see some type of outlines. That means you're keeping your body fat in check.
Yeah, that's the best marker I go off is ab outline. So the last couple of years, I typically get pretty heavy in the off season. I'm going to change that this year, but like last year I got up to 260. So when I was going to sleep, I'd have to lay my head back and like kind of get it in my pillow to open up my airways. Was I probably too heavy at that point?
A little bit, just a little bit.
Get a little too dirty on that bulk there.
Man, I remember the first time I hit 240, I went to tie my shoes and I did the cross and I had to come up to catch my breath. And I was like out of breath. And I was actually talking to Juan Morales, man, how do you stay that big, man? Like, I can't even tie my shoes. He goes, look at bodybuilders. He goes, we don't tie our shoes. That's the point.
Yeah, that's actually a good marker. Do you have to hold your breath when you go down and tie your shoes?
You're a little too out of shape. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's kind of real quick, I'll talk about why it's good to stay within that range, right? The more body fat you get, the less insulin sensitive you end up becoming. And insulin sensitivity so insulin, we know, is a transport hormone. It's what shuttles nutrients into the muscles. And if you are less insulin resistant, that basically means your pancreas is going to keep producing more insulin and putting more insulin into your system, and your blood sugars aren't going to really go down as accordingly to it. So if you're insulin resistant, you're not going to partition your nutrients properly, and it's going to be a lot harder to grow. It's going to be a lot harder for pretty much the entire off season itself. So you really want to keep your insulin sensitivity in check. And so once you start getting too fat, that's a time to throttle back, cut the carbs back, maybe by 40% for a good 2 or 3 weeks. That'll dramatically help increase insulin sensitivity again. Even keeping cardio in a little bit, that'll also help.
Yeah. And to kind of work off like what you were just talking about, also more optimal your body is, the higher natural testosterone will be also. Because that's something that more body fat you have, your testosterone does go lower.
Yes.
And it's also been proven the opposite way too, of the lower your body fat is, the lower your testosterone will be also. So, there's that fine marker, but if we're talking off season to optimize what you want to do, you got to use those physical markers of how you look, how you are just throughout the day. Can you walk around the block without being out of breath?
Yep.
Those little markers will tell you everything.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, let's see here. Does the amount of protein your body can handle depend on your size and weight?
No, that's person to person different. you will see studies that show yes and no, yes and no. Majority of the studies will say no. It depends genetic factors and just how your body is. A good example actually is John Meadows. He can't produce, or he can't digest as much protein as he used to back in the day.
Mhm.
His age is factored into that. And he's still, well, not anymore, but when he was in his peak, that was some of the biggest times he ever was, and he was eating 2 to 3 ounces of protein per meal.
Using how much? You
There,
said
yeah, he was eating 2 to 3 ounces at one point per meal.
wow.
Not anymore. I know he's not as active anymore, but he did talk about that when he had those gut issues. He talked about that pretty extensively.
Yeah.
So I was going to say no, or I mean, I was going to say yes. I think the amount of protein you can handle is dependent on body size. I was going to say in terms of like bodybuilding, right? The more muscle you have, so protein turnover, right? Protein synthesis. Your body is always undergoing protein turnover, meaning amino acids are dying and being metabolized, and you are replacing those amino acids with new amino acids. Amino acids, just for everyone, is the simplest form of protein. There's a whole chain of them. When the chain is complete, you get a full protein out of it. But so I was going to say yes, it's dependent, because the more muscle mass you have, the more protein you need to take in to support that. Because while your body's undergoing protein turnover, it's not just taking it from just muscles, it's your organs, it's your hair, it's your nail, it's everything in your body is made of protein. So if you aren't taking enough, it's not going to support the excess muscle. So I thought that I would say yes, because you need to take in more protein if you have more muscle. You need to take in less protein if you have less muscle.
For the amount of muscle, yes, but if you take someone that's 240 at say 10% body fat versus 240 at 20% body fat, they won't digest the same amount of protein as each other. That's the sense I'm talking about.
Yep, I can agree with that.
That's something that I also notice when people dieting is, why do protein amounts never change? That's something I do, is I will lower your protein amounts as we go along. But if you start off your diet at 200 pounds and we're down to 160, why would your protein still be 8 to 10 ounces per meal, stuff like that? That stuff does need to decrease.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah, I meant no is in the fact of each person's going to be different, genetic factors, how long you've been doing this. If you've been doing bodybuilding dieting for years and years and years, you can take in more protein versus someone that, like Eric, that's just getting back into it. His body's not used to it.
Yep. Yeah. So just going with this, right? So you said, yeah, so I agree with you completely. You said your body weight is also dependent on your protein, right? So if you have a guy at 240 and he's fat as hell, and you got a guy at 240 and he's pretty lean, good off season, like I said, 15, 18%, are you going to start them off the same amount of protein?
No. The guy at 240 and fat will be on probably between the range of 200 to 240 grams of protein. The guy that's pretty lean will be above and well excess of 240.
Okay.
And it's just because of that digestion issue. Plus, it's also extra calories. There's a lot of factors that go into it personally.
Yep. Yeah.
It is genetics. Why is someone two guys that are 240 completely different look? Yep. You got to figure out what the difference is going to be.
Yep. Yep. I agree. Let me see here. Here we go. What is your most embarrassing moment in the gym?
Jeez.
I ripped a hole in the back of my pants.
Squatting?
Ripped it wide the hell open, ass cheek hanging out, everything.
Like through your boxers and your pants, or are you not wearing underwear?
Both of them just ripped right through. Deadlifting at when it was Bally's.
Okay.
Ripped right out.
Got it.
I'm trying to think, because I don't really get embarrassed, so it's hard for me.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm the type of person that I don't really care about anything. So if you think about whatever, you can go fuck yourself. I could care less what you think. So I don't really think there's that embarrassment. But I will say, if we were to think of something, it would probably be when you're you're feeling good, you got your weights going, and you either walk into something or you go to put your weight back and you miss the rack a little bit and you got to rethink it. And then you're kind of oh, I hope no one saw that. I was just walking around with the 110s looking all brolic, and then you would have put back and you missed it. You're oh, I skipped it. And you're that's oh, man, I hope no one saw that. And I was probably
or when you cut your headphone on something and it rips your headphone out and then you get.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, way back when we had actual cords and you had out here, when you go to turn and you catch that bar and it rips your head over there, you're oh, jeez.
Oh, dude.
I do that all the time because I still use the corded ones.
Oh, jeez, old school man over here.
Well, because every wireless one I had, man, I'd forget to charge the battery. I'd have issues with them connecting, so I just say, fuck it, just use the cord still.
Tell me,
give me the cord.
I mean, this guy anti-skip in that CD player.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just upgraded from iPhone 5, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
Wow.
5.
I had that phone for about 4 years.
I still got the 8. Still got an 8, so I'm still a little behind here. My most embarrassing gym moment. Oh, I know what it is, dude. And it's not even really embarrassing. It's not nothing I did. Because it's kind of the same way with Eric. Like, I don't get embarrassed at the gym. Like, I care less. Okay, so I was deadlifting. So this is a couple of years ago because I don't deadlift anymore. This was probably 5 years ago. I was deadlifting and I was pretty strong still at that point. I was doing I think I was doing 5 plates for a couple reps. And this newer kid to the gym, he was probably training there for maybe like 2 or 3 months. And I'd seen him passing once in a while, and he tried to say what's up to me. And he was, when you're kind of newer to the gym and you're hardcore, you kind of look up to some of the bigger guys. So he was like looking up to me a little bit, and he came over and asked me some questions about deadlifts. And so his goal is like 405. So I was helping him out a little bit there, and he picked 405 up. And I'm standing next to him, so I'm like kind of like cheering him on, like, yeah, come on. And this kid, he picks the weight up, locks it out, and then screams at the top of his lung for like, it felt like 3 minutes straight. It was probably like 5 seconds. But he just screams and then fucking throws it down and is like, ah. And like at that point, like just because I was like associated in the sense of like being near him, I just wanted to like evaporate into thin air and never be seen in my entire life. That was probably the most embarrassing moment.
That's a good one.
Is it more effective to do cardio at low intensity for an hour or higher intensity for 30 minutes?
That's a good one.
Depends on the goal. If you're an athlete, I believe high intensity is better. If you're a competitor, like bodybuilding, bikini, figure, something like that, I believe low intensity.
This person is a this is like just a general fitness client, not an athlete, not a competitor.
So then honestly, just for something like that, just whatever's funner for them. Low intensity will always be the better fat burner. And the reason behind that is when you get your heart rate up, something that I actually like my clients to do is start off high intensity for a couple minutes and then go into the low intensity. But when your heart rate is at a certain point of fat burning stage, it will go after stored calories, hence fat. Versus when you start running, you start doing all these things, it goes after the immediate calories, which is calories you've eaten.
Yep.
Hence why marathon runners eat a massive carb meal the day before they run. So when you do high intensity for a short amount of periods of time, because that's the whole goal of high intensity is I can do my cardio in a matter of 10 minutes, you're not going to get into that fat burning. You're going to be burning calories, and it's a longer process versus, given none of us like get on that treadmill for 30 minutes to an hour, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's part of it, and that's what gives the best look.
Yeah.
But if it's just someone that's just doing it to have fun, mix it up. Walk on the treadmill a little bit, go jump some rope, do high intensity. Yeah. There is no wrong way to do it because first and foremost, it's about your health. Yeah. So just doing any type of cardio is going to be worth it.
So I'll take this question as like a fat loss. It's a fat loss question. So yeah, I agree. Low intensity cardio, like low intensity steady state walking the treadmill at 3.5 miles an hour is definitely better for fat burn, like direct fat burn. You're going to burn calories while you're doing that cardio. So your heart rate's going to get up, around the 135 mark. That's the fat burning mark or area. And it's going to switch pathways, and you're going to burn primarily fat. Because it's not an immediate source of, it's not like an immediate need of energy. It's just a steady source of energy. So it's going to switch to fat, and it's going to start burning fat. The higher intensity, like HIIT style training, that's an immediate energy source requirement. It's going to use the glycolytic pathway, glycolytic.
Yeah.
Pathway. Say it fast so it sounds right. It's going to use carbs. It's going to use glycogen that's in your bloodstream at that time, or glucose. Sorry, it's going to first use the glucose that's in your bloodstream, and then it's going to attack the glycogen that's stored in the muscles. But the interesting thing about HIIT or high intensity cardio is that you'll continue to burn calories at a higher rate for a longer period of time, even after the cardio. So when you finish cardio doing like low intensity steady state, when you're done, your heart rate's going to return to normal. You're not burning extra calories anymore. With the high intensity, you're going to continue to burn some calories post workout, even sit back home down on the couch.
Yeah. So, they do both have effective ways. It's just, if you're looking for physique enhancement, it's going to be low steady.
Yep. Agreed. Let's see here. All right. Here you go.
Oh, God.
This one's for you. Would you rather have penises for fingers or an ass for a face?
That's like the easiest question ever. Penis as fingers. I mean, come on, any guy's gonna say that. How many I mean, that's the best.
I don't know, man. There's some questions you need to ask about it. Are they going to be flaccid fingers? Are they going to be erect all the time? I mean, how big are we talking?
That's a good question because I hate to pick my nose with a big penis.
I couldn't fit my nose all the time. I couldn't fit my dick in my nose. Are they functional?
Then
Are they going to be functional? Like, am I going to be able to, like, if I don't like someone, am I going to be able to like?
You can just stick the thumb dick on him. You're like, there's a big fat one on him.
Do I have to wear gloves all the time? Like, am I going to be getting in trouble for indecent exposure if I'm not wearing gloves at a moment?
That's true. You got to put condoms on your fingers.
Yeah.
Same thing with
the ass is going to be. Am I going to have like a butthole for a mouth?
Running into somebody with dicks for fingers.
Could you imagine slapping someone and getting slapped by like 5 dicks?
5 mushrooms across the face.
I think it's pretty standard for all. I think we're all going to pick dicks for fingers.
Yeah.
I don't want an ass face. No one wants that.
So does that mean we have one eye? I'm confused by that now.
What was that?
We only have one eye now if we have an ass face?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, actually, you brought up a good point because if you have an ass face, how would you eat ass?
That goes back to week 1.
I guess if you're to make out, you're going to eat ass.
Sounds disgusting.
Huh. Good question. All right, I think we got answered that one. Some experience. Protein size, ass for fingers. Percentage. I think I had one more. Where the heck was it? Oh, did we answer this already? Yeah, that was from last week. Oh, here's one. Can I keep you as my dirty little secret? Someone likes Panic at the Disco, I think. That's all the ones I got. Let me check Instagram one last time. Eric, did you get anything on Instagram?
I didn't post it. I forgot. I failed on my end to post it, so that was my fault. Next week I'll do.
Sorry. One more. Okay. Do you need to squat past 90 to get the most out of the movement?
That's a good question. I like that one.
Go for it. Okay.
Past 90?
Yeah. Do you need to squat past 90 to get the most out of the movement?
I think not. And I'm going to talk about it because we just spoke about this yesterday. I think you can get the most amount of tension by just coming barely close and keeping that like constant, tension on the muscle and then going back up. I feel like past 90 or anything breaking it is all knees, and it just seems like a lot of wear and tear for not a lot of good reasons. For me.
I just believe you should go as low as you comfortably can.
Okay. That's true too.
If you can go ass to grass, why not?
I'm going to go a different route. I think it depends on what your goal is. Is it a quad dominant? Is it quad dominant focus? Is it a hamstring focus? Is it an adductor focus? Yeah. What's your current situation? How do your knees feel? I'm going to say this. So I was always a firm believer that you needed to go ass to grass on squats. Fast forward a couple of years, my knees fucking killed me. I was doing 5 reps. My knees fucking killed me. And my quads weren't growing relative to the weight I was pushing, right? So I think if you squat below, if you want to focus on like hamstrings and adductors, right? I think you definitely need to go below 90, or at least, slightly below or just at 90. Because at that point, anywhere before that, you're not including the adductors in the movement. If you're going to focus on more quads, I think at 90 or even maybe a little above 90, you're going to get more quad activation from it. So it really depends on what your goal is.
So it's like kind of what Sean said, because he's saying if your body can handle it, it's like what you want to do. So if you're going to go toes out and all this stuff, then you can do a lighter weight but break the 90. He's not saying to do 400 something pounds and then break 90 and how you hurt yourself. It's just going to be, if you can do one plate and you're just really focused, like you said, adductors and, getting those good, nice quality reps, then break 90. It's going to feel better. But if you're going to throw all the weight on it, then don't bother hurting your knees or your back.
Perfect way to put it, man.
And also, if you're a power lifter, what's the point of going below parallel if you're a power lifter?
You only gotta hit it.
You just gotta get it and get up. So
yeah, cool. All right, man. You guys got anything else to add?
that's about it. You know, I'm sure there's a lot more stories about gym etiquette that we all had that we never touched on, but that they'll be popping up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, they can leave it in the comment section, and then we'll go over it next week.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, geez.
End this podcast on a funny note. Eric, speaking about gym etiquette, is it okay to talk about jerking off at the gym?
Oh, how did I know that this story was going to come up? Because I was just thinking about that the other day, and I actually told my buddy about that, how I was like, oh, you know, back in the day, me and my buddy we're at the gym and we're working out. And for some reason, how did we even come up with the conversation? We said, I told Ryan.
We're talking about jerking off in the ball.
Right. But it was a joke that we had come up with way prior to, like, oh, if you jerk off before you go to the gym, your body becomes more anabolic. And for some reason, we just had stem off that day. And I was like, oh, Ryan, did you jerk off before you came? I'm feeling really anabolic. And it is just this one girl with not having that conversation. So her boyfriend actually had come over and go, hey, man, why you guys talking about jerking off? My girlfriend's right here.
He was married and he was there training with this random chick.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the other part of that story. But this is like 10 years ago, literally. But yeah, that was a pretty good story. Don't talk about jerking off at the gym.
About how, scientifically it's proven that jerking off before the gym is anabolic. And so we were, explaining that to each other, and really angry about how you should not talk about jerking off in front of women. And so we obviously continued to talk about jerking off because you should know that if you want to get the best results in the gym, you should probably jerk off before you work out, or maybe even intra-workout. And,
that still stands.
That's true. Dad even stepped in too. Oh, because that's what he was like. He's like, "What would your parents think if they heard you talking like this?"
Oh, that was actually the perfect story because my dad was right back at me, so I asked him. He was like, what would your parents think of you talking like this in the gym? And I literally turned around and I was like, Dad, what do you think about this? He's like, I don't give a shit. I do it too. What the hell? So that was a pretty funny.
We should have explained to the guy why he should be doing it before he goes to the gym.
Yeah, apparently he had a lot bound up. He needed to do something.
Yeah.
All right. And on that note, remember to subscribe, like this video, and we'll see you guys next week.